He is a name whispered in fear, a being of ancient evil. Beelzebub, the Lord of Flies, has haunted humanity for millennia. His origins reach back to the dawn of civilization. He emerges from the shadows of forgotten religions. Beelzebub embodies our deepest fears. He is a reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all. Beelzebub's story is one of transformation. He began as a god. He became a demon. His journey reflects the evolution of our understanding of good and evil. He is a complex figure. He is both terrifying and strangely alluring. Few figures in demonology command such power. Beelzebub's influence is undeniable. He appears in religious texts. He haunts our literature and art. His presence is felt in modern horror. This is the story of Beelzebub. Prepare yourself. We are about to descend into the abyss. Beelzebub's origins lie in ancient Philistine religion. He was once Baal-zebub, a powerful deity. His name meant Lord of the Flies. He was worshipped in the Philistine city of Ekron. Baal-zebub was a god of healing. People sought his aid in times of plague. They believed he controlled the forces of pestilence. He could bring disease. He could also take it away. Over time, Beelzebub's image shifted. He was no longer a benevolent healer. He became associated with filth and decay. This transformation was likely influenced by the Israelites. They viewed the Philistines as enemies. They demonized their gods. The name Baal-zebub evolved. It became Beelzebub. The original meaning was twisted. Lord of the Flies took on a sinister connotation. It referred to Beelzebub's supposed dominion over demons. They were like flies swarming around him. This marked a turning point. Beelzebub was no longer a god. He had become a demon. Beelzebub's transformation continued in Jewish tradition. He became a powerful demon. He was associated with idolatry and paganism. He was a symbol of the dangers that lurked beyond the faith. Jewish scholars debated Beelzebub's nature. Some believed he was a fallen angel. Others saw him as a lesser demon. All agreed on his evil. He was a tempter. He led people astray. Beelzebub was often linked to the practice of necromancy. He was said to communicate with the dead. He could grant knowledge of the future. But such power came at a terrible price. Those who sought his aid risked their souls. Though a demon, Beelzebub was not always a central figure. He lurked in the shadows. He whispered temptations. He waited for the faithful to falter. His presence was a constant reminder of the ever-present threat of evil. Section 4. Prince of Darkness, Beelzebub in the New Testament. In the annals of Christian theology, few figures are as enigmatic and fearsome as Beelzebub. His presence in the New Testament marks a significant evolution in the understanding of demonic forces. Beelzebub's notoriety reached new heights in the New Testament. His name, often synonymous with the devil, became a symbol of ultimate evil and corruption. He appears in the Gospels not merely as a background figure, but as a central antagonist in the spiritual battles depicted. He is a powerful adversary to Jesus Christ. The Gospels recount several instances where Jesus confronts the forces of darkness, with Beelzebub often at the helm. He represents the forces of darkness. His influence is seen in the torment and possession of individuals, showcasing the pervasive reach of his malevolence. Jesus encounters individuals possessed by demons. These encounters are not just physical battles, but are deeply symbolic of the struggle between good and evil. The Pharisees accuse him of exorcising these demons through Beelzebub's power. This accusation is not just a challenge to Jesus' authority, but also an acknowledgement of Beelzebub's formidable power. They claim Jesus is in league with the devil. This claim is a testament to the fear and respect that Beelzebub commanded even among the religious elite. This accusation reveals Beelzebub's elevated status. He is not just another demon, but a prince among them, wielding significant influence and power. He is no longer just a demon. His role has expanded to that of a ruler within the demonic hierarchy, a testament to his cunning and strength. He is a prince among them. Jesus rebukes the Pharisees, challenging their understanding and exposing the flaws in their accusations. He argues that a house divided against itself cannot stand. This powerful metaphor underscores the futility of Satan working against his own minions. If he casts out demons by Beelzebub's power, then Satan is working against himself. This logic dismantles the Pharisees' argument and reaffirms Jesus' divine mission. This implies that Beelzebub is a high-ranking demon in Satan's hierarchy. His position is one of authority and command, orchestrating the forces of evil. This encounter solidifies Beelzebub's place in Christian demonology. He is not a mere footnote, but a central figure in the narrative of spiritual warfare. He is not merely a spirit of decay or a tempter. His role is far more significant, embodying the very essence of rebellion against the divine. He is a powerful entity. His presence is a constant reminder of the ongoing battle between light and darkness. He is a direct threat to the divine. The struggle against Beelzebub is emblematic of the larger cosmic conflict, a battle that continues to resonate through the ages. Section 5, Lord of the Flies, Beelzebub's demonic hierarchy. In the annals of Christian demonology, few names evoke as much dread and fascination as Beelzebub. His very name, often translated as Lord of the Flies, conjures images of decay, corruption, and malevolent power. Beelzebub's position in Christian demonology solidified over centuries of lore and religious texts. He is not just a minor demon, but a figure of immense power and influence. He is a prince of hell, a title that signifies his high rank and authority in the infernal hierarchy. This title is not merely honorary, it denotes his command over vast legions of lesser demons. He commands legions of lesser demons, each one ready to carry out his malevolent will. These legions are his army, spreading chaos and corruption wherever they go. He is second only to Satan himself in the demonic hierarchy. This close association with the devil underscores his significance and the extent of his power. His association with flies takes on new meaning when we consider what flies represent. They are not just insects, but symbols of death, decay, and corruption. They represent death and decay, ever-present reminders of the impermanence of life and the inevitability of death. In Beelzebub's realm, these flies are more than mere pests. They are harbingers of doom. They are drawn to filth, much like how Beelzebub is drawn to the moral and spiritual decay of humanity. This attraction to filth is not just physical, but also metaphorical, representing the corruption of the soul. They embody the corruption Beelzebub represents, serving as a constant reminder of his influence over the darker aspects of existence. His power is pervasive, infiltrating every corner of human life. He is linked to the 7 deadly sins, each one a pathway to damnation. These sins are not just moral failings, but tools in Beelzebub's arsenal to lead souls astray. He is most closely associated with gluttony. He tempts with overindulgence, luring individuals into a cycle of excess and self-destruction. This temptation is subtle, often disguised as harmless pleasure. He whispers promises of pleasure, making indulgence seem irresistible. These whispers are insidious, planting seeds of desire that grow into uncontrollable urges. He leads souls astray through their desires, exploiting their weaknesses and turning their own wants against them. This manipulation is a testament to his cunning and malevolence. Beelzebub is often depicted as a monstrous figure, a grotesque blend of human and insect. This form is not just terrifying, but also symbolic of his dual nature. He has wings, which signify his fallen angel status. He has horns, symbols of his demonic power and authority. These features make him a fearsome sight to behold. His body is a grotesque parody of both human and insect, a form that embodies his corrupting influence. This hybrid form is a visual representation of his ability to corrupt and degrade. He is a horrifying reminder of the consequences of sin. His power is immense, capable of bringing about untold suffering and despair. This power is a constant threat to those who stray from the path of righteousness. He is a master of deception. He can disguise himself, taking on forms that are pleasing to the eye and comforting to the soul. This ability makes him even more dangerous. He appears as an angel of light, a form that lulls his victims into a false sense of security. This guise is perhaps his most dangerous, as it allows him to infiltrate the hearts and minds of the unsuspecting. He preys on the weak, exploiting their vulnerabilities and turning their fears and doubts against them. This predatory nature is a hallmark of his malevolent character, making him a relentless foe to all who encounter him. Section 6. The Exorcism Rites Confronting Beelzebub's Power. In the shadowy corners of ancient churches, where the flickering candlelight barely pierces the darkness, the battle against Beelzebub unfolds. This is a battle not just of physical strength, but of unwavering faith and spiritual resilience. Beelzebub's power made him a central figure in exorcism rituals. His presence was a dark cloud, a malevolent force that priests and exorcists had to confront head-on. The very mention of his name sent shivers down the spines of the faithful. These rituals were intended to drive out demons. They were meticulously crafted, drawing on centuries of tradition and the collective wisdom of the Church. Holy water, blessed and sanctified, was a key weapon in this spiritual warfare. They were often performed on those believed to be possessed. The afflicted would writhe and scream, their faces contorted in fear and pain, as the exorcist chanted prayers and invoked the power of the divine. Priests and exorcists developed elaborate ceremonies. They used prayers. They used holy water. They used relics. Each item held a specific purpose, a specific power in the fight against the demonic. The holy book, filled with sacred texts, was a beacon of hope and strength. They sought to banish Beelzebub and his minions back to the depths of hell. The glowing crucifix, a symbol of ultimate sacrifice and redemption, was a powerful tool in this battle. The exorcist's voice would rise, filled with conviction, as he commanded the demon to depart. Exorcisms involving Beelzebub were considered particularly dangerous. The struggle was intense, a physical and spiritual tug-of-war that tested the limits of human endurance and faith. He was a powerful adversary. His presence was palpable, a dark and menacing force that loomed over the exorcist and the possessed alike. His eyes, filled with malice, seemed to pierce through the very soul. He would not relinquish his hold easily. The possessed would often exhibit a defiant expression, their eyes filled with a mix of fear and anger. As the exorcist, with a determined look, continued the ritual, possessed individuals exhibited disturbing behavior. They spoke in tongues. They exhibited superhuman strength. These manifestations were terrifying, a clear indication of the demonic presence within. They contorted their bodies in unnatural ways, limbs twisted and turned in ways that defied human anatomy, a grotesque display of the demon's control over the physical form. The exorcist had to be strong, his focus had to be unwavering, his grip on the crucifix tight as he faced the embodiment of evil. He had to be resolute. His gaze, intense and unyielding, was a testament to his faith and determination. He knew that any sign of weakness could be exploited by the demon. He had to resist Beelzebub's temptations. The demon would whisper insidious thoughts, trying to break the exorcist's resolve, but the priest had to remain steadfast. Failure meant the demon would gain control. The stakes were incredibly high. A single misstep, a moment of doubt, could result in the demon tightening its grip on the possessed. The possessed individual's soul would be lost. The anguish on their face was a stark reminder of the eternal consequences of failure. These rituals highlight the very real fear Beelzebub instilled. The atmosphere in the church was thick with tension. The fearful expressions of the onlookers a testament to the terror that Beelzebub's presence invoked. He was a powerful force of evil. His glowing eyes, filled with malevolence, were a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the veil of the physical world. He could corrupt the body. The dark veins that spread across the skin were a visible sign of his influence, a physical manifestation of the corruption within. He could corrupt the soul. The torment of the possessed, their soul enveloped in darkness, was a chilling reminder of the stakes involved in this spiritual battle.